Well, isn't it wonderful how the government is deciding to spend all of our money? This is Zach at Feel Free to Argue, and I've been watching what's been going on in the economic sector, and honestly, I'm just really surprised that there isn't more outrage and more people asking questions. 3 questions that I think really need to be asked right now, and we need to be asking them all over the place. First question: do these institutions actually need to be bailed out? What are the consequences of bailing them out, as opposed to, for example, allowing them to fail and then taking care of the people who were essentially defrauded by them? In other words, let AIG go under, but then, the legitimate aspects of AIG's business, the people who were playing by the rules and acting sensibly, bail those people out with the government money, and just let AIG and whoever's investing in this incredibly corrupt organization pay the consequences. Second question, equally important: who is profiting? I mean, at the exact point when lots of people in this country are going to be in abject misery, when they're going to be losing their life savings, their insurance, their very ability to continue on if they're living off of their investments, we should be looking at who is profiting, because there's always someone who is profiting. Do these people deserve the money that they're getting? Probably not. Especially, I think there should be not one thin dime of profit for anybody involved in the systematic defrauding of the American people by making ridiculous wagers with our money. When we gave them this money in order to guarantee these loans with the government, we needed to know that these loans were being made in a responsible fashion. If these loans are not being made in a responsible fashion, then there's absolutely no way that the American public should be expected to pay for it. In fact, we should be going after the people responsible for making these decisions, for basically screwing over the American public and being irresponsible with the American people's money. But not very many people are talking about that. For some reason, it's an unsavory concept that we, actually make these people who are acting so irresponsibly pay for defrauding us. For some reason, we feel like they should be bailed out. Why? Because they're captains of industry and they pay Congress a lot of money to make sure that we do that. And aside from that, one of the other things that I think we really need to be asking in terms of, a question is, what are we getting for our money? If we just handle a big pile of money over to an organization like AIG, and we put absolutely no strictures on it, we don't say, you need to increase your reporting, you need to kick back a certain amount of money to the American public if you are lucky enough to turn a profit at any point in the near future, that you're basically, since we are bailing you out, that the American public, you need to make a dramatic steps towards serving the American public. And I don't see these kind of calls going out. I don't see people demanding that we actually get some value for all of this money that we're spending, for the fact that basically every man, woman, and child for the conceivable future is going to have their wages garnished so that we can pay off the debts that these irresponsible jerks have made in our name, but without our consent. So, I think these are the questions that everybody needs to be asking. And we need to be serious about it, and we need to be yelling this stuff from the rooftops, and we need to be saying that these solutions are unacceptable because they absolutely fail the smell test. I don't think it's okay that people who are irresponsible with my money and your money get to walk away and live in a mansion for the rest of their freaking lives. That fails my smell test, and I bet it fails yours as well. But it's not a done deal. It's not a fait accompli. I mean, I know both Obama and McCain are arguing in favor of this, but you know what? There hasn't been any outrage either. And I think what we need to have is need to have a lot of people standing up and saying, these solutions are unacceptable. You know, people who have heartlessly robbed the American public are being allowed to walk away with billions. And the American public is being handed the check for their irresponsibility. Sorry, not a fair way to conduct things. And the problem with it is if you people don't make a noise, if you don't, talk to all of your friends about this and everybody starts really questioning these solutions, these are the solutions that we're going to have. And basically, we're going to be given this tab and we're going to have to pay it, and these people are going to get off scot-free, and we're going to be paying for it. So, just some stuff to think about in terms of the questions I think we should be asking, and not having respect for these people who have screwed us over. Having contempt, having anger, and demanding that, something be done about it, which people can look at and say, that's fair. Certainly, that's not the kind of solution that's being proposed right now. As always, you can feel free to argue.